Welcome back, Wolfpack. Relis here, and first generation Twitch Plays Pokemon has finished. This is the final team right here with Pidgeot, Omastar, Zapdos, Nidoking, Lapras, and Venomoth. And as promised, I'm bringing you guys a battle team guide on how to use all of these Pokemon together in a singles or maybe even a doubles team. And first off, I just want to say sorry for not having the video out on Monday. There's been a lot of shenanigans, moved to a new home, was at an anime con, and right now my audio settings probably aren't the best because I'm recording from my laptop, which is like 2005 potato level laptop. It's just really interesting right now, so let's go dive into the strategies. However, with Pidgeot and Omastar, I have already reviewed them, so there will be annotations and a description or links in the description below. So just really quick, with Pidgeot, I was thinking, go Choice Band. You can get that Jolly Nature, get a really respectable speed at over 330. Try to get as much attack out there as possible. With the 80 base stats, it's not that great, but Choice Band kind of saves it. You also have Brave Bird and Return scoring you some stab boosts, which is really nice, as well as the Mirror move and U-Turn, or you can also have Defog to really help out the team with all the setups going on with field control and whatnot. So, Bird Jesus, pretty strong, really enjoy him. With Omastar, Omastar is a great Shell Smash, however, with this set, I changed it up just a little. I wanted to see what happened if you gave him an Expert Belt, because he does have pretty solid coverage, and the Life Orb and Focus Sash are already taken. So I was trying to think out, like with the ability Weak Armor, you can give him a lot of extra little bonus stats from that. If he does get hit by a physical move, most likely will survive it, get some free speed. That way I move some of the speed EVs into hit points so he has a better chance of surviving that initial attack. Everything else is pretty much the same though. Swapped out Rock Slide for Ancient Power just because with that higher special attack it'd be really nice to get all of your stats boosted as well, and you just take advantage of a really good set. Now we're into unfamiliar territory. So we do have Zapdos, who eventually became the Archangel Bird Jesus and was really, really strong in the end. Ended up giving us the win, which was really awesome. But for a new generation twist on his stats, I was thinking you want to go with a timid nature, just make him one of the fastest things on the field. With that 100 base speed, he can get pretty fast, so 328, really good. You're going to outspeed a lot of threats. And even with that timid nature, you still have almost 350 special attack. With Zapdos, I decided to give him a Choice Specs. That way, you do have even more damage, and you're going to be able to one-hit KO a lot of neutral Pokemon, as well as almost anything super effective. So, awesome thing about Zapdos is if you do have a Zapdos from earlier generations, he can get Heat Wave from the Move Tutor. So, you go into some kind of threat that's weak against Fire types, he can devastate them with that Choice Specs. Also, Stab Discharge, really good for doubles. You can go for Thunderbolt in singles, or Thunder if you like being a risky mofo. He also gets extra sensory and Signal Beam. With Signal Beam, I could also say you could go with Air Cutter, potentially, because Signal Beam is just going to be good against Dark types and Grass types, but with the Air Cutter, you are getting the stab, therefore it is a stronger move, and you do just have that flying extra coverage. Extra sensory, just a good psychic type move. Overall, Zapdos is a good Pokemon to have on this, and just, I'd say, yeah, just really good Pokemon. Huge amount of bulk, ended up being more than enough for helping us winning that championship title. Now next, we have an interesting set. So, Nidoking, his hidden ability is Sheer Force. For those of you that don't know, Sheer Force makes it to where if you would have a secondary effect like a flinch or any kind of status like the paralysis on Thunderbolt, it negates that but does give you a 30% boost in damage, which is pretty ridiculous. Now, the weird thing about Nidoking is when you're running the Sheer Force, he is much better as a special attacker. Now that sounds strange, but his stats do get really high. He does end up almost hitting 300, but with the Sheer Force, it's a ton of extra damage right there. I decided if I give him a Life Orb, just super boost on the damage, and his special move pool is much, much better than his singles or than his physical move pool. His special move pool includes Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Surf, all kinds of shenanigans. So choose from that. I would recommend at least Earth Power and Sludge Wave. They get Stab Boost, Sheer Power Boost, or Sheer Force, and just ridiculous stuff. With Ice Beam, great Dragon coverage, Sheer Force as well. Shadow Ball, same thing. Coverage, Sheer Force. Surf, you're not getting the Sheer Force from, but it is good water coverage. People don't expect that on Nidoking. And special Nidoking, you know, I like putting a lot of hit point investment, that way you can endure the hit, rest in special attack with that modest nature, and you're good to go. Next off, we have Lapras, the Surf we always wanted, and we finally got late game. You know, we were able to get that. So, with Lapras, there's a lot of different ways you can run him. You know, you can go for the Aqua Ring, just be a really good sustain, Ice Beam Scald kind of Pokemon. You can make him a bit more tanky, you can make him a bit more risky, you know, like Perish Song's Sheer Cold kind of shenanigans. Set I was looking at is Lapras has a ton of special defense bulk, great hit point bulk, and access on Curse, which means I see a good setup tank here. With the special defense, you can get that over 300 with the right nature. Special defensive nature, I would recommend a careful nature, or one that reduces speed as well. That way, you don't affect any of the stats that Curse is boosting, which does mean that since you are using Curse, this is going to be a physical Lapras. His attack and its attack and special attack stat are the same, so while you don't immediately think physical Lapras, it's a completely viable option, and with Curse, it's a very strong option. So you get off 2 Curse, now you have over 400 attack damage. That's ridiculous. Now what I decided to do was go with Protect, that way you can get a little more back from your leftovers in between Curse heals, then Avalanche and Aqua Tail for the nice stab and coverage. That's how I'd run Lapras. That's a pretty interesting and fun way to run him. Now Venomoth, our all-terrain Venomoth, he ended up having some shenanigans against that Dragonite Psychic type kind of abuse glitch going on. He was using Poison Powder. I was thinking that we can step it up in the new generation, give him Quiver Dance with a Focus Sash. I think this can be incredibly strong because Quiver Dance, you're going to get special attack and speed. With the Focus Sash, you're guaranteed at least 1 Quiver Dance, and if they're trying some other kind of setup, you might even get more on top of that. Then after that, you go with a Bug Buzz, Sludge Bomb for stab and coverage, and then Energy Ball just to have a nice little rounded out set. So I think this could be very strong. You know, his speed and special attack aren't the best, but after 1 Quiver Dance, it gets really strong, and Bug Buzz hits like a truck when you start getting some good stab and everything into it. So that's where the Focus Sash went, took it off Amistar. But overall, I think this is a great, fun team and very viable in its own way. Like each Pokemon has its own niche, very strong, can do its own thing. You know, Zapdos, Venomoth. Well, actually, Zapdos and Nidoking, you know, they have straight up power. Same with Pidgeot, they can maybe score some KOs. Amistar and Venomoth, one turn, you know, they do their Quiver Dance, they do their Shell Smash. Now they're ready to sweep, and with Lapras, you know, if you have the option or the ability to, switch him in, get those curses going, make him really bulky, and then start turning around some big hits. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Going to try to work on the workspace a bit more, but this is what we have right now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, hope you all have a nice day.